Hello, and welcome to Take a Look Tacoma. I'm your host, Marlon Howard. Tacoma native Dale Chihuly's innovative work with glass is known the world over. The city decided a showcase was needed, a venue worthy of these works of art. So in 2002, the Museum of Glass was built. It's an impressive structure that lends an unusual shape to the city skyline, and it is only the first of many places I have to show you today. Let's take a look. I'm here at the Washington State History Museum, and as you can see, there is a lot to cover. So let's take a look, Tacoma.
This facility was built in 1996. Prior to that, the Washington State History Museum was in a building next to Stadium High School. That now houses everything that we own that's not on display in this museum. And since 1996, this facility has really become a state resource for Washington history. Kimberly Ketchum, Marketing and Communications Director of the Washington State History Museum. A very strong part of Washington State history is our connection to the Native American population. And so in partnership with the tribes, we have done a lot to support Native American culture. And one of the exhibits that we do on an annual basis is called In the Spirit, Contemporary Native Arts. You can't tell Washington State's history without the Native American story. We have permanent exhibits and featured exhibits, and our permanent exhibits include a Great Hall of Washington history, which takes the visitor through Washington history from prehistory until current day.
Lucianne, tell me, how and why did you come to Walla Walla?
I first lived here when my family came west on the Oregon Trail. We stopped at the Whitman's Mission on the way to Willamette Valley. That's where my parents settled. Growing up, I dreamed of being a teacher. Until I met Courtney. Courtney's dream was to settle near Puget Sound and raise a family. I married him. We built a cabin near Fort Nisqually and cleared timber. After a while, we had a farm to work, but then they discovered gold in Coeur d'Alene.
And then we have a model train exhibit.
I'm here at the model train section of the museum, and this is a scale model of 1950 Tacoma. Some of the places are still here, such as the Brown and Haley factory and Union Station. Others are long gone. First, could you tell me your name?
I'm Marshall Wilson.
And what's your job here?
I'm the chief engineer of this organization. Because of the fact that there's nothing here that was commercially produced, and we're trying to reproduce the actual scenes from around the Tacoma and Puget Sound area, we had to develop all of our own models from photographs, diagrams, and so forth.
So we had to do a lot of history searching to find out how everything was.
A lot of history searching, that's correct. Well, this is the downtown Tacoma roundhouse area, which was just about half a mile from us here in Pacific Avenue. The old roundhouse turntable from the Northern Pacific Railroad at what is called the head of bay. but all the rest of the buildings were torn down back in the 1960s. Everything has been custom painted and built to represent what actually was here, and is weathered to make it look like it's been around for a few years.
And how long did that take?
It's taken since we started in 1996. Most of the buildings and structures in our display are long gone and more disappearing all the time, but there are still a few in the local area that are still around. For instance, the mansion here in Puyallup, it's called the Meeker Mansion. This was scaled down, and the little building just in front of it, which was originally a furniture factory but is now an antique store. In Tacoma, we still have the Freight House, which was originally the Milwaukee Freight House for the Milwaukee Road, which is now called Freight House Square. Over in downtown Tacoma, we have the Spar Tavern, which we've recreated along with the little fish factory right at the on Dock Street there. Our main building, the Union Station, is still under construction, which we hope to have in by the end of the year.
Take a look, Tacoma.
The history of Brown & Haley is just an extraordinary history of a wonderful family company in the state of Washington. I'm Pierce Sinclair, and I have the honor of being the fourth CEO of Brown & Haley. Mr. Harry Brown had a confectionery company called Oreo Candy Company, and J.C. Haley was selling spices. And they decided that coming together would be a good thing, and they had ideas for confection. And at that point in America, we had what was called general line confection houses, and there were some 200 of these, and every major city had at least one. Los Angeles at that point had about 4 or 5, and they became a general line confection house, producing box chocolates, candy bars, nougats, specialty confection. Brown & Haley in 1923 formulated a specialty confection that was a little bit later named Roca. Most candy bars are regional. Out of the Bay Area, you have the Annabelle Candy Company, which makes 7 different candy bars. Out of LA, you have Anson Brooks, they make about 5 different candy bars. In Idaho, you have Idaho Spud Bar. We make a number of other things. We make the iconic Mountain Bar, formulated in 1917. Our Mountain Bar has 3 flavors. It is a chocolate piece with embedded peanuts in it, with a great center. The center can either be vanilla, can be peanut butter, or can be cherry. We also make all the campfire mints for the entire United States. We make a lot of specialty products. So it is a company that is led by quality and has for 101 years.
We've talked so much about the candy, the different varieties of the almond Roca, the Roca bar, the Mountain Bar. Do you think I can get an opportunity to see how it all works?
Absolutely, it would be our joy.
Our Roca Masters start with the premium ingredients, the fresh local butter, the California almonds, the real sugar, the real vanilla.
We buy as many local companies as we can. And we're always looking for more local suppliers for a number of reasons. First of all, it's green, second of all, the freshness of it.
They mix those things together, cook them to the right temperature, and then they get deposited onto food-grade cooling whales. This starts the process of cooling the toffee and forming it into a slab. That slab then goes down through a cooling tunnel to get it to the right temperature so that our slitter can actually cut it into Roca ribbons. Those ribbons are separated slightly and then gone through a candy guillotine. That candy guillotine actually chops them into the distinctive shape that is known as roca.
What Harry Brown did as the candy maker took the classic English toffee, which was produced in big sheets and that you typically just snapped and consumed. And he did something so forward-thinking. He made it in portion control, which was really, really advanced thinking. Because if you had it in small controlled portions, you could actually put it into a container that was airtight that gave you an extended shelf life. It also gave you the ability to entirely enrobe the entire confection, unlike English toffee. When you snap it, you expose the sides, and moisture is attracted to it, and therefore you have a very short shelf life.
They then go through another cooling tunnel to try and get that core center of that piece to just the right temperature so that the chocolate will stick onto the outside of the piece. The chocolate enrober is, of course, a fantastic piece of equipment. I could stand there all day myself and just watch it as it just coats the pieces and blows off the excess chocolate, if there is such a thing. And then it goes through a shower of almonds.
Yeah, it's something special because of the complexity of the flavors, the way you bite through it and you release the almond flavor, the chocolate flavor, the toffee flavor, and then back finally into the almond.
The excess almonds are removed and the piece is fully coated. It goes through an additional 2 cooling tunnels to get the piece so that it will be ready to wrap. The pieces then travel around another 90-degree corner in the process and are deposited into 6 custom-made wrappers. The wrappers can wrap up to 430 pieces a minute. And the foil that's used is a special customized alloy so that the pieces will wrap tightly and protect the piece from the almonds coming off.
As we started as a regional general line candy house, our main market, quite frankly, was Pierce and King counties. As transportation got better, we spread out to Oregon, Idaho, Northern California. But something interesting happened in the 30s. Because we sit on Puget Sound, because we had Navy bases on Puget Sound, our products were loaded aboard naval ships. And as the naval ships headed into the Asian basin, they had roca along with them because roca had an extended shelf life and it was in a tin. So that it was used for dessert and treats aboard ship, but it ultimately became barter. When a naval ship would go into port and they needed to trade for something, they would trade out almond roca in its pink can.
In the packaging department is where it is either deposited into canisters, tins, or pouches, depending on the type of packaging that it's going into. It is then boxed up either into pallets or into cases, and then it is immediately shipped off around the world. You can find roca in over 35 countries, and we're proud that it's all made right here in Tacoma.
How did you come up with the color? Is it pink? That, you know, with the color of the tin? How did they come up with that color?
There's no question that we are a pink-driven company. We love pink. Pink delights, pink is fresh, pink is fun. The interesting thing is that the consumer can spot an almond roca tin at 100 yards. Our pink is distinctive, it's almond roca pink. On any given day, in a 24-hour period, we're producing 64,000 pounds of roca.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of goodness. Take a look, Tacoma.
There's a growing comedy scene in Tacoma. Many clubs have sprung up, but Tacoma Comedy Club has a reputation as being the comedian's favorite. So I'm here for some interviews and definitely for some laughs.
We're really not comedians, we are distractors. We're here to make sure you're not thinking about anything at all.
Take a look, Tacoma. I'm here with Tyrone Hawkins. He's gonna do a set tonight here at the Comedy Club. Tyrone, thanks for the interview.
Thanks for letting me come sit in with you guys. I guess after a couple open mics, since I survived those and didn't get booed off the stage, I just kept going. I went to the dentist and the dentist breath stank. How the dentist breath gonna stink at 8:45 in the morning? Who allowed this? You start off in small increments, like 3 minutes, and then you run for the for the curtain, get out.
Do you remember what's the first thing you talked about?
Yeah, short jokes.
Short jokes.
I'm just over 5 feet. They call me the 5-footer. So, needless to say, I got plenty of short jokes. Oh. It's stink in this city too. What is that smell? The Tacoma Road, he proud of it. City farted, fool. Tacoma Road, baby. I describe it more as prime time, man. I'm shooting for the 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock network time slot.
Okay.
Now, I can give you 11 o'clock, midnight, after hours, some of that adult comedy and things like that, but that's really not my style. It's difficult to do clean comedy and still get the same reaction, so I've just been trying to master the craft.
So it's good to hear you making things happen. I definitely appreciate your time.
Marlon, my man.
All right, now. Appreciate it.
Showtime, man.
All right.
That ain't no joke. I'm just talking. Hold on, we gonna get to some comedy.
I'm here with Adam Norwest.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to mess it up this time. Okay, but anyway, thanks.
Kim and Kanye just named their baby Northwest.
That is true.
Yeah.
Did they get that from you?
I hope not.
Okay.
I didn't get any money for it.
Okay.
Northwest. That's the worst. That's the worst name ever. It's probably the last time they're gonna give their daughter any direction. I just have to talk on stage and hopefully funny things come. So I'm taking swim lessons tomorrow. So tomorrow at noon, if you are in Olympia, Washington, you can witness my death. So I was talking about that, and I'm just talking about what's going on, and hopefully the jokes come to me, and then over time they get better and better. And so basically everyone here in the audience tonight were just guinea pigs for me. I tell a story about how I've been working out and how I told my girlfriend to feel my leg muscles because I've been running. And she was like, you should run with your arms. Like, people love that because she's making fun of me on something that's obviously true. But if I was just like, oh, look at that weak guy right there. Yeah, I've been working out. You work out?
Well, you see the muscles, right?
Oh, you got a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Okay, well, maybe she was right. So Tacoma is definitely getting a name for itself.
It definitely is. Comedians love audiences in Tacoma. It has a really good reputation very quickly, and so it's a lot of fun to be a part of it.
I'm standing outside the top. I'm standing outside.
Cut!
Okay.
Can't work under these conditions.
I'm standing outside of the Comedy Club. I'm talking to Andrew Rivers.
Oh, Andrew Rivers looks like me if I was the machinist. Well, you guys don't like movies? All right, let me try again. Andrew Rivers looks like me if I was Mary-Kate Olsen.
If I had known I wasn't funny, I would have never started. Because no one's funny when they start. And the first time I got off stage, I thought I was great.
Yeah.
I was like, I just need to not be nervous and stutter. And then, so it's an evolving process. And then you look back like 6 months later and you're like, oh, I was terrible. I'm good now, but I was terrible back when I started. I like Tacoma. I'm making fun of it. Tacoma's amazing. Tacoma's the best city in Washington because Tacoma's the only city that actually puts a hospital on MLK Street. Right? That's a great idea. Right? What a time saver, you know? You get shot, you know, like, hey man, you need an ambulance? Nah, it's right up here. I got it.
So tell me, how do you deal with the hecklers?
I don't know. It depends what they want, you know what I mean? Some people just want to be part of the show, and that's when you just shut them down and call them an idiot. Some people just say baffling things, and then, like tonight, I think, if you guys were taping, there was like some lady, I was doing a joke about how, like, I don't think I'm ready to have kids, and this lady is like, ugh, don't have kids. And I was like, yeah, that's the point. Like, are you following anything that's going on?
All right. I shut up. All right. I like 5 more minutes. We'll get to the next guy. It's gonna go pretty quickly if you just keep yelling at me. That's gonna be fun.
Like, I'll assess the situation, because sometimes you need to shut them down and gain control, and then sometimes it's a lot more funny if you're just like, what the is wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to swear? Is that okay? I've driven as far as Connecticut in my car. I got a new car 2 years ago. I just had 120,000 miles on it.
Oh, you've been putting some serious miles on it.
Yeah. So I drive all over, like in September I go to Indianapolis, North Carolina, Little Rock, Arkansas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Tucson, Arizona, Nevada, Salt Lake City, and then so I do kind of loop around, and I'll just stay out on the road for like a month or two and just
Round, round, get around, I get around.
How's that not a rap song? He's like, check out my car, love me, yeah.
My buddies and me are getting real well known. Yeah, the bad guys know us and they leave us alone. Like Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with.
Yeah, there's differences. I mean, like, Kirkland is probably a little more sensitive than Tacoma.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, most of the people, if they're showing up to a building that says comedy on it, they just want to laugh at stupid stuff.
My dad never came to any of my Little League games, and I approached him about it the other day, because I hold on to things, and he got really defensive immediately. He was like, whoa, 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 I sat through plenty of soccer matches. And then I felt bad because he described it so accurately. I knew that he was there.
Yeah, so I should move out the way then, right?
Yeah, could you just get, I'll just finish this up. I'm Andrew, my website is andrewjrivers.com. I just put out a CD, you can download it 100% free. Free, you can't be mad at free, right? Like, you just give me your email and your zip code, and then I'll let you know when I'm in your town. And I won't sell it to any company unless they make a really good offer. That's the deal. And he's gonna come with me on tour.
Yeah. Take a look, Tacoma.
I'm Tyrone Hawkins. Take a look, Tacoma.
Take a look, Tacoma.
Take a look, Tacoma.
What are you doing after the show? So you really only got one kid?
We've only just begun to see what Tacoma has to offer. Come back again next week to see another side of the City of Destiny.